Hi, my name is Ezra Fitz, and I work at your friendly neighborhood Spring Hill Public Library. I've got a book recommendation for everybody. Here it is, The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, which is published by Saga Press. It's an imprint of Simon & Schuster, and it really is the best book I've read in years, literally years. And I'll give you a couple reasons why I think it's so great, and then I might read a little bit to give you a flavor of the narrative, of the text, of the style. But basically what goes on here is there are four Native American men, members of the Blackfeet Nation, who desecrate a sacred hunting ground just a week before Thanksgiving. And this event haunts them both literally and psychologically for years after that. And that's kind of the genesis of the book. And I should mention that the author himself is a member of the Blackfeet Nation, so you also get a really cool inside look at what it's like to be a Native American here in the 21st century, what their life is like both on and off the reservation. And technically it's a horror novel, so any fans of Stephen King will really enjoy it. But it's also very literary, and like I mentioned earlier, his style is just really unique, so anybody who's just a fan of great literature is going to get a kick out of it too. So with that being said, I'll read you just a page here, and this is just the events that lead directly up to the infamous hunt that ends up cursing these four men and dooming them to whatever may come. What Lewis remembers clearest about the next 60 seconds, maybe closer to 2 impossible minutes, is the way his heart clenched in his chest, the way his throat filled with terror, was it? Is it that was too much joy and surprise can ball up into when it comes at you all at once? There was the instant sweat, his head full of sound, his eyes letting in too much light for his head to process. It was like he doesn't have words for it, really. That fight or flight rush, he tells Shaney, only running wasn't a distant option. It was just what he'd always imagined war would be like. But too much input all at once, his hands acting almost without his say-so, because they'd been waiting for this moment for so long and weren't going to let him miss it. Gabe either. He popped the handle off his door, rolled down into the snow, smooth as anything, his rifle whipping around after him. Following his lead, nobody said anything. They just fell in. Ricky coming out the car door, Cass trying to jam the truck into park so it wouldn't roll off the rock tip it was teetering on. The door on Lewis's side opened like a whisper, like fate. When he committed his right foot down into the powdery surface that ended up being 2 feet deep, he just kept falling. His chin stopped a hand's width above the powder from the front tires. His forward motion never faltered, though. He crawled ahead like a soldier, pulling with his elbows, his rifle held ahead to keep the barrel clear. And that was when the frenzy washed over him. He'd seen big herds in the park over at Two Dog Flat. Had seen them in spring by Bab, bounding across the road at night. But this many huge, perfect bodies against all that stark white was something he'd never seen this close before. At least, not with a rifle in his hands and no tourists around to snap pictures. Gabe's rifle going off was distant, was down at the other end of some long, long tunnel. So I hope you enjoyed that little sample, and I hope you come check it out. Thanks very much.